Brian Shaffer was a 27-year-old medical student in Ohio, someone with a bright future ahead of him, someone with plans, goals, and a life that seemed to be moving forward like anyone else's. But on the night of March 31st, 2006, everything changed in a way that no one has been able to explain, even to this day. Because that night, Brian went out with his friends to celebrate the start of spring break, moving from one place to another, eventually arriving at a bar called the Ugly Tuna Saloona, a place filled with music, people, and the kind of energy you would expect from a college nightlife scene. And at first, everything seemed completely normal. Laughter, conversations, drinks, nothing out of the ordinary. Until the moment that would later become one of the most mysterious pieces of footage ever analyzed. Because as the night went on, security cameras captured Brian entering the bar, talking casually, blending into the crowd like everyone else. But what those same cameras never captured was him leaving, and that single missing moment would turn a normal night into a mystery that has lasted for years. Because when his friends were ready to leave, Brian was nowhere to be found. Calls went unanswered, messages received no reply, and at first, it didn't seem too serious. Maybe he had left early, maybe he met someone, maybe he just went home on his own. But as hours turned into days, and days turned into weeks, it became clear that something was very wrong, because Brian Shaffer had completely disappeared. And as investigators began to dig deeper into the case, they focused heavily on the surveillance footage, analyzing every angle, every frame, trying to understand how someone could enter a building and never come out. And what made it even more confusing was the layout of the bar itself, because there were limited exits, and the main entrance, where cameras were placed, showed no sign of Brian leaving, raising the possibility that either he left through an unseen path or something happened inside. And as theories began to form, people started questioning everything, from hidden exits to possible blind spots in the camera system, to the idea that he may have somehow slipped away unnoticed. But even those explanations didn't fully satisfy the mystery, because no matter how the footage was analyzed, there was no clear answer, no moment where he could be seen leaving. And as time passed, the case only grew more complicated, because there were no signs of struggle, no confirmed sightings, no financial activity, no communication. It was as if Brian had simply vanished into thin air. And that is what makes this case so unsettling, because unlike many other disappearances, this one has a starting point that is clearly documented, a moment captured on camera that shows exactly where he was. But after that, there is nothing, just silence, just unanswered questions. And over the years, countless theories have been suggested. Some believe he may have left the bar unnoticed and met with foul play elsewhere. Others think he may have intentionally disappeared, starting a new life somewhere else, while some even consider the possibility that something happened inside the bar that was never fully revealed. And despite all these ideas, none have been proven. None have provided the closure that his family and friends have been searching for. And even now, nearly 2 decades later, the mystery of Brian Shaffer remains unsolved, a case that continues to confuse investigators and fascinate those who come across it, because it challenges something we assume to be simple, that if someone enters a place, they must eventually leave. But in this case, that simple logic does not apply, leaving behind a story that feels almost impossible, yet completely real. A story where the most important moment is the one that was never seen, and perhaps never will be.